or saw the thumbnail. This is why Sanemi vs Giyuu isn't close. Even in 2024, this is still a common debate. Even though it should be obvious, spoilers, Sanemi slams. This video is going to be split into 4 sections, addressing Giyuu and Sanemi being equal, scaling Giyuu and Sanemi, and how the fight would go. To hear some of the points about Giyuu and Sanemi being equal, the fanbook doesn't mean anything. All it says is that Giyuu and Sanemi have equal skill, or equal in that sparring match. So this means neither of them are equal in the sparring match, or equal in the sparring match, or neither of them are going all out. Panning of them side by side also doesn't mean anything. If you think it's implying they're equal in power, then all that means is that a way weaker Sanemi is equal to Giyuu. This is because Sanemi is directly stated to get slower the more injured he gets. We know how injured he got in the Kokushibu fight. Before people say this is common sense, and Giyuu was also injured. Slayers, especially Hashira, wouldn't get as weak, getting injured or tired, but they would obviously get weaker. Now let's scale Giyuu. I first want to get rid of a bunch of bad arguments that Blazers make. No. Demon King Tanjiro is not stronger than Muzan, or even remotely strong at all. 1. The blood that Muzan gave Demon King Tanjiro just isn't even good blood. This is a 4th drug Muzan with all his altered blood, altered in aged in old slimy, smelly blood, which isn't even full demon blood, as he was turning human with one of the drugs. 2nd, no Tanjiro is trying to hold back. 3. Tanjiro is a feral demon. He's not even conscious, and demons are weaker when they first awaken and don't have consciousness. 4. This was true. This would put Inosuke and Nezuko on the same level as Demon King Tanjiro, above everyone else in the verse, and they can fight, and Inosuke would have killed Demon King Tanjiro if he didn't care for Tanjiro. So now, hopefully, people will stop using Demon King Tanjiro feats. And for Giyuu's Muzan feats, I already made a video on why Muzan is very weak, but in short, Muzan the Infinity Castle, even at the first drug, is only Akaza level. I also want to cover Akaza getting speed blitzed by Kokushibu. Yes, Akaza is off guard, but at least in my opinion, it's implied that it's only because Akaza was off guard, and it's something that Kokushibu can just normally do. This will also make sense from a narrative standpoint, showing the difference between the upper 3 and upper 1. I will show this is important later. I know I literally haven't skilled Giyuu at all, only debunked bad arguments. Now, we're quickly gonna skill Giyuu. I already made a pretty in-depth video on how Giyuu performed against Akaza and Giyuu vs Tanjiro. So in short, even in marked Giyuu is only low in relative to Akaza, because Giyuu isn't fast enough to dodge Akaza's attacks, going to clash with Akaza's base punches with his water breathing, and breathing forms are way above regular sword swings in speed and AP. Finally, the skill Sanemi. I see people underrate Sanemi all the time, especially in base, so I will quickly say what is actually happening, or at least my interpretation of Sanemi versus Kokushibu. Kokushibu never blitzed Sanemi in their fight. It is implied that Kokushibu outsped Sanemi. I don't think it was to a blitz level. Sanemi remarks about the fight doesn't imply that it's a blitz level above him. He glazes Kokushibu, saying how fast he is, how strong he is, how his speed is the main issue. Sanemi says he can't even blink, and if he would so, and if he did, he would have died. Then, Kokushibu slices Sanemi. In my opinion, this isn't a blitz, and you could make the argument that Sanemi either blinked, or Kokushibu was still just faster than him, obviously, and eventually he got a hit off. And the fact that the higher number breathing form, the stronger it is, especially for Kokushibu's attacks. And Sanemi only gets outmatched by a 6 from Kokushibu. But at the end of the day, Sanemi is very low in relative to a Kokushibu who's just warming up. Kokushibu just warming up is supported by Sanemi saying Koku's getting stronger and stronger. Kokushibu gains flashbacks to the Sengoku era. So Sanemi is very low in relative to warming up Kokushibu, while Giyuu is low in relative to playing around Akaza. I want to say, before people get this confused, debate, or say something dumb in the comments, I am not saying Sanemi is the same level of relativity to Kokushibu that Giyuu is to Akaza. That was confusing. All I'm saying is that Giyuu is more relative to Akaza than Sanemi is to Kokushibu. So, depending on how strong you think a warming up Kokushibu is, then Sanemi would scale higher. In my opinion, warming up Kokushibu would scale similar to Doma, or a very low ball, a full power Akaza, which Giyuu doesn't even scale to. It would make no sense for warming up Kokushibu to scale to a holding back Akaza. This is supported by the blitz, or it's implied that Akaza isn't a threat to Kokushibu, or a good fight yet. Kokushibu, after he smells Sanemi's blood, does get nerfed, but he shouldn't be too much of a nerf, or a blitz level. We still see Sanemi getting pressed, and would have died if not for getting his gun. Sanemi is only fighting a little bit better. Kokushibu shouldn't be massively nerfed. This is supported by Sanemi's statement saying that his blood is like silver line for cats, which would make demons drunk, or a sense of euphoria. Silver line, first, doesn't last forever, only lasts for 30 minutes, and Sanemi later says when it actually wears off. Another side effect from Silverline is making the cat more energetic or hyper. This is supported by Kokushibu saying his blood rate got faster, which would actually make him stronger, but also slightly drunk, only getting sluggish and slower after the catnip wore off, or after the Silverline or blood wore off. But this is probably because they were hyper and would be tired of being hyper and then using all that energy, which wouldn't happen to Kokushibu as he's a demon, has infinite stamina and breaths. Direct side effects we see for Koko is faster blood rate as I said before, and staggering. Something else I want to note is that Koko asks how long he's been affected by the blood, so this means Kokushibu is fighting Akaza for an unknown amount of time with neither getting a blow, but a big enough time for Kokushibu to wonder how long he's been affected. Kokushibu by this point should be warmed up, having fought for a long amount of time and having a faster heart rate affect him. When Sanemi gets the mark, he would go to a full powered Kokushibu. This is because we see Kokushibu get angry and try to blitz Gyomei mid-conversation, because Gyomei mentioned Yoriichi. So it's very in character for Kokushibu to stop running back after that. And if the blitz didn't work, why would Kokushibu continue to hold back? Something to support this, moons on his attacks turning blue. I know nothing is mentioned about this, so if we just ignore that, then it's completely fine, it won't change anything. Something Sanemi does, which is a great feat, is 1. Overpowering Kokushibu's strength, and 2, which you don't see people use this fact, is that Sanemi, right to Kokushibu breaking his sword, was fast enough to move his sword before Kokushibu could break Sanemi's sword. This is in direct contrast to Giyu. Giyu didn't have enough time, didn't have enough speed to move his sword, so Akaza wouldn't break it. He reacted to the attack but couldn't avoid it, while Sanemi reacted to a stronger opponent and was able to avoid the attack. And then same combo with Gyomei, which isn't as good a feat as some people like to say it is. I am not saying that Gyomei was just carrying Sanemi. It would have to be relative to combo. To cover the blitz that happens when Kokushibu uses his longsword, that blitz is a surprise feat and can't be used. This is supported by Gyomei's reaction being surprised that Kokushibu had all of a sudden doubled his range and attacked from nowhere. Them not even seeing Kokushibu pull out the longsword because his back was to them. They get the statement that Sanemi gets more sluggish the more injured he is, and that the blood is pretty much worn off. Sanemi is able to dodge from alongside Kokushibu's forms before getting saved by Michiro. We then off screen see Sanemi, Gyomei, and Michiro dodge 8 more breathing forms. This is supported by the way that Kokushibu fights. And we see him in other slayers cycling into forms going up one by one, so they use all of them and then just using multiple. When we see Sanemi fight Muzan, he fights better than Giyu does. Sanemi in a 1v1 scenario can just easily dodge all of Muzan's attacks and get fire on him, cutting him in half, which undercover how the fight would actually go. Sanemi would outstat Giyu in base and marked by a lot, so Sanemi would be aggressive with Giyu defending. Giyu's defense is really good, but if Sanemi is so massively above him, then Sanemi would close in and kill Giyu. Giyu's dead comp won't be as effective as it was against Akaza, but it still will be effective and might work as a counter a couple of times. You can even see that Sanemi just blitzes Giyu. I really don't see that happening, and I don't believe that. But I do think that Sanemi is outcutting Giyu too much and would eventually win. To draw a similarity to how I think this fight would go is either base Sanemi versus Kokushibu or a full power Akaza versus Giyu. The kind of how this fight would go in my opinion. So hopefully this video helps show why Sanemi needs to stop being underrated and Giyu needs to stop being overrated. Giyu is not equal to Sanemi. This is obvious when you look at Giyu and Sanemi's feats, and not even the fanbook supports this, as many people say. Like, sub, peace.